The world would be a better place.
If I was to stop using a computer for a week, I'd probably be lost because it's how I do my homework, it's how I coordinate meeting other people, it's how I get a lot of my entertainment.
Benefits is that we have more accessibility to things that we did not have in the past. I think that certainly it's made the pace of our life a lot faster. That no longer is this waiting time for information to be found out, which I think can also be detrimental as well. I think that it has caused our society to be very rushed, and so there's something to be said about a slower pace of life.
I think I spend too much time on technology.
Say that a large portion of my life revolves around technology.
The way that the schools require the technology has forced my life to revolve around it.
Technology is really nice that you can have a conversation with someone that you wouldn't usually see every day and you wouldn't have the chance to have a conversation with every day. But it's also bad because you can have a complete friendship with someone over technology but then never talk to them.
I think that now instead of talking to each other, more people are just texting or Facebook chatting.
Very little social interaction anymore. You see at dinner tables, everyone's just on their phones, and in between classes, people aren't talking, they're just looking down at their phones. So I think it's definitely a problem.
In some ways, it's easier to communicate with people, but also if you're with somebody and both of you are on your phones or online or something like that's not fun.
I would say technological dependence is a very negative aspect. People get way too attached to their phones and way too attached to just being able to look stuff up. So they lose the ability to, say, have a conversation with someone in person.
How much time do you spend on technology?
5 to 6 hours.
An hour and a half, I would.
3 hours total.
At least 20 hours a week. So even probably more than that because I'm using it all the time when I'm at school. I use it when I'm at home with my kids.
Technology in general, the majority of the day. I don't even think I could calculate how much.
Just say a very large portion, probably 6 to 8 hours.
To me, a simpler life would be not as much complication with school and social things, with extracurriculars and all that jazz.
More time to relax and hang out with your friends and not being stressed about school and tests.
Still be geared towards learning, but it would be without as much work and without the idea of a standardized test at the end of everything.
In my opinion, it would be a little bit less technology and a little bit more time to just do things outside and hang out with your friends, with your family.
Computers and less phones, because I don't like the hold that they have on me, that the obligation that I feel to check them and respond to emails and texts all the time.
In a simpler life, I wouldn't use my phone as much, I wouldn't have as much work, and I'd spend more time outside, and I'd be with my friends more, and I'd just be very relaxed.
Of a new paradigm for education where people respected it. They respected the time that it takes to actually think and create projects.
It's time checking my emails, more time to think.
People don't take the time to be by themselves and think about things. I sometimes think that people aren't even as curious as they used to be.
Would involve more home cooking. It would involve more time outside. It would involve more quality time with my kids where we're not doing, where it's those spontaneous conversations that happen when you're just cooking something together or fooling around outside together.
It would be simpler if we weren't focused so much on using technology to make things easier, because sometimes it just makes things harder.
One where we didn't have as many responsibilities as we do today, because we have a lot to do every day and we don't really have an option of not doing it.
A simpler life would have to be one where it wouldn't be so much focused on work as much as learning.
Simpler life would partially be having less things, but I think it would be more time to do what you want.
An idea for me of a simpler life would be one where we could shut off the Wi-Fi, turn off the smartphone, and sort of just live like people had always lived.
What if life was just simpler?
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others